Scherer was interviewed by several journalists after the release and had in part this to say.
Let me ask you this, Scherer. The book, why did you write it? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Marriage. I mean, you go through your ups and downs. I just believe that when the downs become more overwhelming and there's more downs than ups, then that's the time to kind of go back and see which one outweighs.
Thanks to the tip-off from the man in prison 5 years before, officers finally located the gun believed to have been the murder weapon. It was found in a lake in Walnut, Mississippi, about 45 miles away from where Lorenzen was found, and just as the man had said. Major Darren Goods, who was helping to lead the investigation, would dub this find as Operate the 2017. Huge and shocking new developments were announced.
This morning, Shelby County Grand Jury indicted Billy R. Turner for the premeditated first.
For the Wright family before, rumours had been swirling that Billy and Scherer were actually romantically involved.
Oh yeah, the guy who helped the killing, she was fucking on the side.
This is breaking news.
We are breaking into your regularly scheduled program with major breaking news related to the Lorenzen Wright murder case. Another arrest. A second arrest inside of 2 weeks. This time, Lorenzen Wright's ex-wife, Cheryl Wright, has been arrested. Fox 13 Zach Crenshaw has been following this story in Collierville.
She eventually got mad here.
Hey, Cheryl Wright.
And people snitched on her too. Yeah, I think the Dateline one's probably the best. I think that's what I watched. If you can, let me see if I just want to recommend it for y'all to watch it. By the way, I think he has a son, which is named after him, that's in college, and he's doing his thing, but his daddy is dead, and his mama is in prison. This is her years later when she gets sentenced. Yo, she killed the nigga and was at the funeral, bro. That's some evil shit. That's some evil shit. I think it was some Dateline shit, right? Dateline. Yeah, I think this is what
Police are searching for. I was like paralyzed. This can't be true.
I just could not imagine anybody wanting to harm him.
I just didn't want to live.
I wanted to be able to tell his mom that we got the person that's responsible for this.
Every now and then, somebody would just say, do you think they'll ever figure out who killed Lorenzen Wright?
I'm not giving up. I'm not tired yet. Somebody gonna tell on a friend.
Nothing that hits us all at one time. Well, everybody was talking about it. It was all over the.
Alright. Yeah, they found a fucking gun in they found a gun in the lake. This shit was crazy. Search it up on YouTube though. Very wild story. Wild story. I kid you not, man. Holy shit. Again, she was sick of his infidelity. Rather than leave, even though she started cheating herself, and she planned to kill the nigga. She killed him, acted like the perfect widow, spent the money crazy till the family was like, damn, she's not kind of like this ain't really how we think like someone who their husband, who was the moneymaker, died, should be acting. And basically, I think she wanted to get caught. She wrote books. Basically, like the book would describe the women she caught him with. Like she would be like, yeah. And once again, he's back with the light-skinned girl with the long hair, with the that always has the mole on her. But like she would describe it to a T. She wrote a fucking book describing how she encountered and ran into his side chicks and how mad it made her. And in the book, she basically led it up to like, yo, the only way to deal with this is to kill the nigga. And what did she do in real life? She killed the nigga. Thank y'all for out bearing with that. Alright, let's get back to some hip hop shit, man. Holy. The other girl didn't know. Fuck all that. Alright, what was I about to talk about? I was about to talk about... Oh! Salute to my boy Diddy. You know, Diddy was on the Breakfast Club, and, you know, if you haven't heard the news, Diddy gives his artists back their publishing rights. Now, I think I've tried to explain to you guys what this is. So publishing in the yesteryear, labels used to take the publishing of an artist because artists didn't know what the worth of it was. So they could just, you know, the artists were entitled, like it's a law. You're like, if you write a song or you're a part of the composition of a song, you're entitled to publish it. It's part of the intellectual property. Publishing and also the master, you're entitled to that, right? Unless you sign it away, right? So even without a publishing deal or agreement, or even like a fucking, you know, split sheet or whatever when it comes to music, it's usually divided. The producer gets 50%, the composer, or not, well, the performer or the writer gets the other 50%, which means that the rapper and the writer, or the singer and the writer, they would split that 50%, but then that 50% is seen as a whole. Then people usually divvy up the publishing as they see fit, right? Usually, if you do the hook, you probably usually get a good chunk of it. But regardless, the producers, and this is where producers make their money, and it's still happening for producers because really producers don't get big fees anymore, so they live off publishing. This is how producers eat. So even the biggest record in the world, Fuck You Mean, the producer that you don't know, well actually who produced Fuck You Mean? Well anyway, I only got later. That producer is entitled to 50% of the publishing. What does that mean? Well, publishing ends up being anytime the song gets licensed, the fee that gets paid is paid to the publishers. Okay? It's collected usually by either one of the rights organization, ASCAP, BMI. You have, I think SOCAN if you're in Canada. There's multiple organizations that are going to collect these fees. Okay? Also, well, really, well, if it's a movie or something like that, you probably deal with it yourself, or you have a publishing company that does those deals for you. But ASCAP or BMI or whatever, what they're normally going to collect for you in terms of publishing is publishing royalties that usually come from, say, Spotify. Yes, there is publishing royalties that come from Spotify, right? So a stream, if it's worth whatever it is broken down to performance royalties. There's a few different royalties, but one is publishing royalties. Anyway, why does this matter? This is exactly why producers still are doing their job. Without publishing, most producers, because you gotta remember, rappers could go on the road, producers can't. Producers would be really fucked up out here. So publishing is really important. Now, early on in the game, when rappers didn't really know anything about anything, and by the way, it happened to producers too, but producers had to learn the game quicker because they couldn't go on the road. Rappers were obsessed with the high life, so they neglected publishing, and a lot of times they got finessed, right? So what would happen back in the day, even with Diddy, he'd be like, hey, listen, I'm down to sign you for $300,000, but if you give me your publishing, I'll sign you for $400,000. You're like, yo, another $100,000, I could be balling with this. Fuck that. Give me the most amount of money, because people didn't understand the music business and how consumption was, and also that basically having your publishing is like having a stock. So people want to cash up front, right? So these guys were selling their publishing for little or nothing, to the point that most of these deals started having it baked in that the publishing already belonged to the label. Diddy and others were the beneficiary of this. Later on, the practice is seen as completely wrong. You're robbing people of their intellectual works. You're taking away shit that you didn't help create. Of course, you're eating on the master and the royalty, and of course, recoupment has to happen. But when it comes to publishing, that's not even about recoupment. That's you, the label, owning these people's thoughts, their writing, their feelings, and their performance of their song. Diddy, by the way, these things matter a lot, even though it wasn't publishing. Actually, what's a pub that Irv Gotti sold? I thought it was Masters, but I don't know. It could be pub. Irv Gotti just sold some shit for $300 million. So this matters a lot, right? Diddy, who owns like the majority of his artist publishing, apparently now he's giving it back after like 20 plus years. Now they say don't look a gift horse in his mouth. And a lot of people say this is a good gesture. He ain't have to give it back because contractually he owns it. He doesn't have to give it back. It doesn't revert back to the owner. No. When you sign these record contracts, it says you're publishing. If you did sign that deal that gives away your publishing, it says in perpetuity. And if you don't know what that means, if you ever seen the contract, it means forever and a day. It usually says in perpetuity throughout the universe, which means even if you are Mars, nigga, that contract is still to be upheld. Because what people used to do is, oh, I only signed that for the North America. Cool, I'm about to go do some shit in no. For everywhere, nigga. So these contracts are really ironclad these days. So Diddy's giving it back. But a lot of these guys, a lot of people getting their publishing back are actually making us think about it. They're like, well, to be honest, Diddy gained millions over the years. Our music now isn't making as much money as it would have made 10 years ago or 15 years ago. So I get that he's getting some positive press for giving us our publishing back of the shit in the last 20 years. Now I'm gonna play what Diddy said, but before I play what Diddy said, I think two people who I want to play their opinions on it is Mark Curry. This is what he said. I played this before, but this is what he said. Okay, now I want to play his soliloquy. Give me a second.
What do you say to the people who say
gonna give $1 million to Jackson State like he doing some humanitarian type thing? He just trying to do whatever he can to keep his name relevant so he can go for a new deal because he don't really have nothing that's making him no money right now. He's not even a billionaire no more, so let's talk.
What's up, everybody? This is the world famous Ed Lover, and you are watching.
Okay.
what made you decide to do that and involve in him?
Okay. To give the gist, basically, Mark Curry was saying, hey, listen, you're giving it back now. This shit ain't worth nothing. Like, bro, what's up, right? By the way, forget Kings, this is your channel, please. Okay. Now, Aubrey O'Day, and I believe she was in a group. Aubrey O'Day. They're in a group. What's the group called? She did an interview recently. What's her group called?
Should I ask you?
It was Danny D. Kane, right? Anyway, I don't know if I could find it. Here we go. So she essentially got offered her publishing back as well, but she has a different take on the entire publishing situation. And just like Mark Curry, who says, yo, it ain't worth nothing, she sees another angle that she believes that he's taking it at. So here we go.
Show I do called Sunday Conversation. We get pretty big guests on there. We had MGK on recently, and like a year ago, and he was like telling us that like him and Megan watch a show every Sunday in bed, and I was like, oh, Megan Fox is just looking at me every Sunday. Oh shit, oh god, what about it? That's always an interesting thing. Let's see, what else do we have here? Should I ask you the golden question?
What's the golden question?
After you mentioned Diddy, I wanted to ask you about the whole thing with Bad Boy. He got all his. He gave the rights back to a lot of Bad Boy artists. Any comments?
Yeah, I'll talk about this.
The floor is yours.
So, this one has been bittersweet for me because as I've gotten older, I've let go of a lot of the trauma and I've learned to really appreciate some of the more personal, beautiful moments I've had with him. And he is the first person that gave me a platform to show my talent to the world. And I was at 17, I'm 39 now. So I have a hard time talking about him before it was no good. Now I feel loving moments for moments that we had together. But this banner that he's painted himself with all weekend long, this has been the Labor Day talk in my world, that he's paying back all of the bad boy artists. I just want to throw you the facts, okay?
Sure.
The deal that we were offered, and when I say we, not every artist got it. Like Day 26 did not get it. But this is what it is. You can have your rights back to your music after Puff went under and somebody else bought our catalog. So this is long after we have 2 double platinum albums, $14, $15 an album from 2 million albums is, what is the math on that, 48 million?
Yeah, something like that. I'm a mathematician. But
So $48 million somebody made on me.
yeah.
I did not make anything. When I said,
Hold on. Let me do the math correctly, chat.
now I feel loving moments for moments that we had together. But this banner that he's painted himself with all weekend long, this has been the Labor Day talk in my world, that he's paying back all of the bad boy artists. I just want to throw you the facts, okay?
Sure. Let's go.
The deal that we were offered, and when I say we, not every artist got it. Like Day 26 did not get it. But this is what it is. You can have your rights back to your music after Puff went under and somebody else bought our catalog. So this is long after we have 2 double platinum albums,
2 double platinum albums. Okay. Double platinum.
$14, $15 an album from 2 million albums is, what is the math on that, 48 million?
She's correct. She's correct.
Yeah, something like that. I'm a mathematician. But
So $48 million somebody made on me.
Actually, way more because their singles being sold too. So, but go ahead. You're speaking.
yeah.
I did not make anything. When I said I did Christina Aguilera for free, I didn't do Christina Aguilera for free, but the record label recouped it all. We were in debt at the end of that tour.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So I worked for free for the first 6-7 years of my career, basically, and also MTV was not paying us. And this is another part that I have that I feel some kind of way about, because MTV since then, in these recent years, has brought back every big cult show, meaning it had millions of followers, and it was at least 6 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Making the Band is one of those. They brought back Real World, they brought back Jersey Shore, they brought back Laguna Beach. Making the Band is the only one that they did not bring back. And Making the Band is the only cult MTV show that made that network, one of them, that they have never played in one rerun. Not one rerun. So I'd like to know why, and if it has something to do with Diddy, then again, what I'm wondering is, when the deal is, when this benevolent man who's just now had a change of heart and has decided to pay us as talent and also as writers, we're credited with publishing. So basically, we only get the amounts due since Sony bought our catalog.
Okay.
So streaming for the past couple years, it's about $800, $900, some in the hundreds. Okay, and in order to get that, I have to release him for any claims or wrongdoings or actions prior to the date of the release. I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, or Justin Combs' music, or EMI, or Sony ever in public.
So that you just got recently for this thing?
I got it a few months ago when he started doing this. So what's happening is artists, some of them, not all of them, are being given streaming royalties and ownership back over our publishing on songs that we wrote at a time when you know that you have to stream a song 1 million times to make a cent.
Yeah.
Okay? It's hundreds of dollars. And me as somebody that's a girl's girl, I hit everyone in my group and said, absolutely do not take this deal. I can get us a show on Hulu right now done talking about boy bands and girl bands, because you have to realize there's a handful, 2 handfuls at most, of boy and girl bands that had platinum albums, 2 platinum albums. And that will never happen again. Music nowadays is run by TikTok, and you can maybe get a song to chart well. Albums aren't being made anymore. There aren't conceptual albums like Christina was doing, like Justin was doing. Those don't sell. It's a singles market game. True. And it's a gimmick game at that.
Hey, she's so right and so smart. And Oreo Day, I don't know if you had this mindset or you had all this knowledge when you were in the industry, but everything you're saying right now, you're hitting the nail on the head. I'm pretty sure you've learned through a lot of misfortune, a lot of realizing you got robbed and taken advantage of, but it's never too late to learn. And hearing you speak, you're absolutely right. I talked to somebody today who's an executive, and he'll remain nameless. And they told me, they said the music game right now, this industry is in a shambles. Artists don't want to put out albums anymore. Albums are doing bad. You're seeing your favorite artists or artists you like, let's say they're a mid-tier artist, their music ain't selling. The format of an album isn't selling. Also, they don't know how to break artists anymore. It is gimmicky. I'm going to tell you why. It's gimmicky because every label is now relying on TikTok to adopt the record. It's the reason why the TikTok Billboard charts just debuted today. Everybody's relying on TikTok. I've heard the stats about consumption. They say consumption is, someone said the same person, they say, oh, consumption's down. I said, that's not true. I've read that consumption for music is at an all-time high. We're both right. They're thinking about consumption from the regular places. So they used to be like, oh, DSPs and blah, 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 and radio. The consumption there is down. Where music is being consumed the most right now is through these apps using sounds. Like Instagram is actually about like 10% of consumption of music, and it's just sounds. You know, you can put a sound on your picture. That's consumption. So, but that's not really properly monetized. So how do you get money from that? Second of all, TikTok. TikTok is eating away the market share. Here are some things I heard. Check this out. Everybody used to be dying, like killing themselves. Like about 4 or 5 years ago, Rap Caviar was ultimate kid. It's still really good. But if you want Rap Caviar, you're shooting up the charts. These days, consumption on all playlists, not just Rap Caviar, could be Apple A-list playlists or even some rotation playlists on Amazon. They're all down across the board. All of these playlists are down because people aren't going to playlists or even going to some of these DSPs as much to listen to music. They're getting their music taste and curation from TikTok, from sounds. And that's fucking up the game because the labels don't know how to deal with it. When it was just playlists, the labels have deals with all the DSPs. They be like, all right, cool. You know we need our artists on there. Cool. Now when it's TikTok, it becomes gimmicky. So here's the thing. Now the deals being signed are different. And by the way, this is the thing with Oreo Day. Like the new artists, like for example, like I was talking about what's her name? Sexy Red. Sexy Red has wild amount of leverage. She didn't sign she only came in with a distro deal. From what I've been told, most of these new artists, based on how they're blowing up, because they're blowing up without the help of a label, it's usually on some algorithm shit or with TikTok. Most of these artists are only selling for distro deals from these major labels. The royalty rate deals are deals of the past because these artists are looking increasingly now like, yo, well, we don't really need the label. Russ said it best. The labels like use was to make sure that, like the labels like wink handshake, I mean, they like each label is gonna get certain spots on every playlist, right? These days, playlist is driving less traffic. From what I'm hearing, down 30%. I gotta ask my man Carl Cherry over at Spotify. I gotta ask him what he thinks. Like, is it true? I'm gonna text him about that actually. Is consumption a little bit less? Is the effectiveness of that playlist less? because I hear everything is going towards TikTok. Here's the business model with TikTok now. Again, the person I talked to will remain nameless. They said the music game right now is gimmicky as fuck. This person told me, they said, yo, right now, every label's in the business of trying to figure out the algorithms, also like doing these campaigns on TikTok and signing these guys for these one-off single distribution deals. Yo, he told me this. He said, yo, our label, we used to do like one signing, right? Maybe a week, maybe sometimes even 2 weeks, right? So now we're cranking out 10 to 15 motherfucking single deals from TikTok little songs before lunch. It's gimmicky. We just wanna, put it like this. We're signing them for not that much, but the algorithms are gonna favor it. We're signing they said they're signing certain people for $2,500. Just knowing that if they work it right, they could turn that $2,500 into 50,000. Some of these songs don't even go that big. But that's a crazy flip. 2,500. You sign up. You do a single deal. You're like, yo, here's $2,500. We get a percentage. Y'all do some little whatever, and then they make 50,000. That's how labels who used to labels used to care about big money. They're playing a small game because they can't predict what's going on in the industry. This shit is in shambles. This shit is in shambles, people. I'm telling you, I called the executive today. I said, bro, I just want to chop it up with you, man. Let's trade some game right here. On my side, I'll be very honest. I said, listen, you know, I think I'm the #1 marketer and promoter of music. This is why I could talk the shit I do, because I know I'm invaluable to these labels. They know Academics stands for something. Academics is the guy. So I need to be on top of the game of how is music being really effectively promoted. So we went over a bunch of numbers and I said, wow, this shit is now changed. This shit's fucked up. Sexy Red, who supposedly hasn't, signed a big ass deal, people are bidding for her right now. Remember, her shit blew up really quick. She was through a distro deal. The distro deal was for either a couple of songs or whatever the case is, or maybe like an album or two. But still, she owns all of her rights. Essentially, she will never get a royalty rate deal. She has wild amount of leverage. So you know what's gonna happen? She's gonna go to a label and command a big ass bag. I heard that there's 4 labels lined up to meet with her, and if her team knows, holla at me. Actually, she DM'd me, so I don't get her on this. There's like 4 labels lined up, applying to her to meet with her. They're trying to get her, but they can't. She's too lit already. By the time they get her now, they're only gonna get like a distribution type of situation. Hey, we get 30%. We get 30% of the profits. You own the masters. Of course, we'll administrate everything. And that's where our 30% also exists. Also, we'll get you a little playlist, and also we'll run TikTok campaigns for you. These labels, they went from royalty rate deals, which is paying artists less than 20%, to now they're saying, oh, we're good with this 30%. Obviously, minus recouping the shit, but still. The game is switched, man. Cult of Masculinity, thank you for the £5. He says, according to MRC data, old songs now represent 70% of the U.S. market. Wow. The 200 most popular new tracks are less than 5% of the total stream. That's what I'm telling you. They're doing quick flips now. So here's the thing, right? It's catalog game. So basically, older songs that have lasted the test of time. Remember, you already paid and you probably recouped on those songs. Those songs are still doing well. Most of the labels, and that's why maybe Atlantic was up to, even though they were doing it for the stock market, they're in the boat that I think a lot of people, they spent last year. I think they're probably going to keep spending this year. I think next year they're going to slow up the spending when it comes to getting artists. Atlantic is in the place of, we own these niggas' catalog. We're chilling. We're not trying to spend. Capital's spending like the Yankees. Interscope is like, nah, we chilling. Like, we got Cardi and we got a few other people. Like, we're gonna be good. Like, we're gonna make it good. We got, you know what I mean? We got Roddy Ricch. We got Baby. Because Baby over there, no. I think they got Yo Gotti's team over there. CG. They're like, nah, we good. A couple other people, they're spending. Or not spending. A couple other people, like, the spending isn't happening as much because right now, if you sign an artist and you give them $1 million and you're like, oh, we're gonna incubate them, we think they got talent, bro, people are quote unquote falling off in 2 months. Your song is hot today, and in 2 months nobody gives a fuck about the person. So right now they're like, shit, let TikTok do the work and we'll just benefit from it. It's kind of fucked up. Anyway, my bad for the interjection, but let me let her cook.
If you were to sign that NDA, would that prohibit you from taking a deal where it's like you get a show about the...
I would never be able to do... I would like to do a documentary for Hulu or Netflix or Amazon, a streaming site on boy band and girl bands. I have a bunch of members from a lot of very boy bands that fit the criteria of a certain amount of status.
Yeah.
Platinum albums, awards, etc., Grammys. Same with girls. The stories that we have to tell during a time in music where there were gatekeepers, there were people that owned labels like Puff running things, and the way that the divisions and the divisiveness occurred, and the things that we experienced between each other and us against the system are fucking insane. And most people that have had to go through those types of things, like the real ways the Kardashians got to where they got, Ray J tried exposing a lot of that, they're still acting like that Ray J didn't expose them and that their Hulu show is all real. They don't have to really even notice Ray J because he doesn't come close to them. But what Ray J said was the truth, and he proved it with facts. So at the end of the day, we're all just willing to turn a blind eye. Diddy is just literally...
Wow. Oreo Day, I would love to have you on my podcast. I can tell the industry has chewed you up and spit you out. I hear resentment there, and a little bit of bitterness, but I don't hear lies. I hear you understanding what this fucking industry is. I like that. Unfortunately, it probably didn't turn out the best for you, but you're not delusional. I do like that. I like that. I like how she's talking.
Really known as the guy that doesn't pay his artists. And it's funny, and then you move on and you like something that he did on TikTok because he's funny. But for people that worked for 6 years of their life and entered an industry where somebody made, $48 million? And we didn't even see a penny of that, and we were in thongs and 5-inch heels for years of our lives on stage. And not any of it did we see. And the measly amount of change that MTV paid us, we don't even get to feel any benefit of that because they never brought the show back. And they don't play it in reruns, so we can't even get the hype of, oh hey, I remember this, they're called classics, let me hire her for something. Yeah. Like all of them got, right? Jersey Shore kids are making millions of dollars. We were talented kids, plucked out of oblivion, and we all had a fucking dream to be at Madison Square Garden and perform, which we got to. And we were not expected to get there. And we're all incredibly talented, every single one of us. So to me, when I read this, I'm basically feeling like you're presenting yourself as the benevolent God that's giving everybody back their music. You've turned down millions of dollars to give the millions back to the people. This is the honest to God. You can read from our attorney. Yeah. This is the honest to God agreement of what I'm being offered. A few $100s to sign away my rights to ever tell the story of what I went through again. And there's not going to be an era of girl and guy groups like that ever again with the way that music has transitioned, and I don't know if it will go back ever again to anything that's credible.
Yeah, alright.
And there's a story there, and Hulu tells those stories, and streaming, Netflix tells those stories, and there's so many paychecks. I offered girls, I called all of them.
Oh, yeah,
I offered some of the girls, hey, if
bro.
you need $800-900, I'll give it to you. Don't sign this. This is just a way to get you to never be able to publicly speak about what we have experienced. And to my knowledge, allegedly, there's only 2 of us from Danity Kane that did not sign this deal.
There were 5 originally?
Yeah.
Fucking idiot, bro. Fucking dumbass. Why ain't you revive me, bruh? Fucking dumbass just sitting there being stupid. This nigga too, what the fuck?
That didn't like work out, and it was just like, oh, that's when you did it, or how did that happen? How did that work? Break that down. I mean, out there with all the bad boy artists and everything like that. So you mentioned all the artists. You mentioned Mace, and recently you said that you were giving the artists back their publishing. Yeah. What made you decide to do that, and what was the artist?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Chad. I'm like the Hall of Fame muter, right? No. What I was trying to say is that, and Drill, please cut out the mute. Like, please, you gotta cut out the mute. Like, nobody wanna hear it, or nobody wanna not hear it. Listen, Diddy is someone who I think is a great person for music. I think he's a legend. Like, I love Diddy. I love Diddy because like he's paved the way for so much entrepreneurs and so many black people to do so many things that was previously thought as impossible. He is a trailblazer. He is a trendsetter. I do respect him in that role.
I love Diddy.
His company, Combs Enterprise, we've done a lot of business together. Like, shit, this is great. You know what I mean?
I love Diddy.
I have zero incentive to ever like speak against him. But I'm also one person who's a man of the truth. And there could never be a paycheck attached to my integrity, and also me being able to be like, nah, that's not, I don't think that's right. And I want you, right before I get into this, you just heard how Audrey O'Day spoke. She spoke with passion, integrity. She does seem bitter. She does seem a little bit like salty a little bit. Yes, of course. But she didn't seem like she was lying. She seemed like she was like, damn, we got fucked over, right? And I can empathize with somebody like that. Not saying I'm saying that she deserved the fucking world, but we gotta look sometimes behind the fucking Trojan horse, right? Like I know they say don't look a gift horse in his mouth, but what does this move really mean? And I wish Diddy kind of explained it like how they're explaining it, because he explained it like it was no strings attached. They're explaining it saying, hey, we basically don't own any stories of whatever. Like look how many stories came out from these older situations where these, like, straight out of cop, like, if actually they were in NWA, right? I was what if they were NWA?
Dude, I got my money. So fuck her, why not? Just explain it. Like you're getting positive PR. You also have you have a chance to effectively squash or kill any possibilities that these artists come out later with some weird stories about you. And it's a good business move. It's a great business move, and it's a great business move at this time. Anything other to be like, oh, I'm just this humanitarian. That no, come on. Let's be honest with ourselves.
These people that have helped me with all of these records, everybody, if there's anything you know what I'm saying, that, like that, you know, just doing the right thing. That's just with the frequency that I'm in. I think the frequency we should all be in is not being afraid to look inward and to make decisions like that. So I want reform in all industries. I want reform in corporate America. If I gotta ask corporate America to look at something and change their ways and the world, then it's just like it's I have to be responsible and accountable for that for myself. And so that was done 2 years ago. So it's not like
2 years ago you did.
2 years ago I had it signed, and then the lawyers had to work everything out because it's not an easy thing, and it's called reassigned. It's not, you know, like I didn't give nobody anything. It's just reassigning because of the contracts and everything is up to par. You don't have to. Business is business. You don't have to change the contract. You don't have to make changes in the world. But if you have a chance to do the right thing, why wouldn't you do the right thing? You know what I'm saying? And that's the world
I got my money already.
And so, you know what I'm saying? I want to be.
By the way, Maury, thank you for telling me I was muted, and also Rocket Million. Thank you, brother.
You feel like the publishing has no value now, and you've already made all your money off it, so now you want to give it back because it's not really worth anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not the truth. Whatever your value of your publishing is, that's the value of your... it's really not... It's really about just me evolving and wanting to do... You know what I'm saying? What I feel is like the right thing that we should all do. We should all look at where we're at in the world today.
Value of publishing is pennies.
I can't go on, like, I'm not doing things for people. I'm doing things that God has in that God tells me to do. So I don't like what somebody's gonna say or how somebody's gonna take something. Puff ain't even on that. You know, I'm not for everybody. Jesus wasn't for everybody. Not comparing myself to Jesus, but somebody I look up to as far as the story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Did giving back to publishing fix any damaged relationships that you might have had?
I wasn't. There's so many misconceptions that people think they know what's going on. I didn't have no problems with people. Mace,
Did it forever on that?
Mace, we brothers, and I got unconditional love for Mace. So me and Mace, I don't know if me and Mace stop arguing now or something like that, but I'm gonna still love Mace. I give him thanks for like really helping to really launch my career as an artist, and you know was there with me from the beginning and stuff like that. But when you're like in a group with somebody, you know what I'm saying? You're tied together for life. Y'all have your brotherly ups and downs, but I always love Mace, always give thanks to Mace, and yeah, me and Mace, we also got, you know, spoke and was just like, you know, had a real conversation, because I think, even though if I didn't agree with...
Alright, okay. The next thing was, by the way, interesting enough, him and Envy had a moment when Envy tried to ask about Young Miami. Here we go.
On the land, you walk all over the place. It'd be 6 days, 7 nights. I would be waiting just to hear the sound of her voice, just to pick up that phone. Hello, like, yeah, hello. So that's where the 6 days, 7 nights waiting for a sound. Like, she was a very, very like stubborn, stand strong person. It's like when she would just disappear, it was like you don't know if it would be forever. You feel me?
Now, but it was an extension of last night, kind of.
Yeah, last night there's a bunch of records. I Need a Girl Part 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you regret not marrying?
No, I don't have any regrets. You know what I'm saying? Like as I said, our relationship was bigger than just, okay, this is a relationship. I got you married, you my girl, you my baby mama, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the connection of being, you know what I'm saying? And it, so love. When you see me, throw your L in the air and say love.
Now after the VMAs, there was rumors that Young Miami was pregnant. She played into it. When was that? I ain't hear that.
When was that thing? Yeah, I can't believe you didn't hear it.
So the rumor's true. Carisha be throwing y'all for a spin. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Carisha be having fun. It'd be like a video game.
Yeah, I said you a stroke. We just asking.
I'm not pregnant.
By the way, real quick before I get into Aquarius Daquan Smith, thank you for the $10. But he said, yo, what's stopping the labels from paying a bunch of TikTok creators to make a song trend? Or sign another creator like DDG that could make his own song trend. Ladarius, they're spending about about like 60% of their budget on TikTok right now. Marketing budget's horrible. At least the digital marketing budgets, they're still doing traditional shit, so they're paying that but they're moving a lot of their traditional marketing dollars to TikTok. Yes, it's already happening. Okay, and yes, they have little ways. They were explaining to me today how they make a song kind of catch a little steam. You know what I mean? And it was kind of weird, but shit. Apparently, they're trying to figure out the algorithm, how to manipulate it, how to exploit it. Thank you. Let me get back to this. This is Envy asking about Carisha, and Diddy kind of checks him, but I think Diddy been watching these other shows where Envy seems pretty sensitive about stuff.
Is your wife pregnant? I'm gonna tell you straight up. You be the craziest one asking about somebody's girl or personal joint. Can't nobody even say nothing to you about nothing. I'm gonna tell you, man, I don't talk about my relationships with nobody like that.
I asked you the question. You can ask me whatever you ask.
I don't care. That's not my business. I'm not saying about you and another woman.
If somebody disrespects, it's another level.
Oh, I can't even imagine somebody disrespecting me.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's my feeling. Okay. That's how I feel. It's easy for people to go online.
I'm just fucking with you.
I got a good little back and forth. By the way, I ain't gonna lie, man. This nigga Envy, like, yo, again, I don't even think sometimes people are trying to like talk ill of his woman, but like, yo, anytime his woman's brought up, like, this nigga wanna kill somebody, bro. Yeah. Thank you guys for the donations, by the way. Hen Dog and Miles, he says, yo, Ack, you gotta play the Diddy Sus compilation. I'll try to get to that. Rocket $1 Million System, he says, Ack, yo, but rip Tinashe on Off the Record. But the thing for the $5, by the way, he says, would you let Tinashe on Off the Record? She gotta apologize to you first, though. No apology needed. I would let Tinashe on Off the Record. I'm not gonna go crazy on her. By the way, I can't even show her outfit. I seen a couple people tag me on her VMA outfit, bro, and bro, I feel sad for Tinashe. Like the days of me lusting after her are done. I'm sorry. Tinashe is a 30-year-old woman now, and it feels sad that she's 30, not really known for music currently, and I saw her at the VMAs in a fishnet joint with pasties and a little thing covering her vagina. I just felt like she shouldn't have to do that, but she's still here, having to turn heads. It's not her talent doing it. It's still sexualizing herself a little bit. I don't know. I always thought she was talented too. I don't know where things went left. I don't know what it is, but unfortunately, the story of Tinashe is always going to be that pretty girl who just never hit it and just went through the industry, just aged. Whether you want to believe it or not, that was Tierra Maria at one point. Somebody says Act 30 is young. Yeah, no, I'm not saying she's old. What I'm trying to say is that, there was a thought at a point. Yo, Marv. Yeah, I'm on stream. You good? You showing my mom dancing. I'll show you my mom, but yeah, no. Alright, yo, I'm gonna hit y'all. I'm on stream. I hope you're having fun. Love you, Mom. Alright, yeah, that's my mom. Yeah, I sent my mom on vacation. My mom don't got no man in LA. My mom don't have no man that I like it. My mom ain't got no man. So my mom said to me, "Hey son, I want to go on vacation. It's anything, you know, I retired her. I got her a house. I got a bed. I give my mom anything she wants." So she says, "Son, I want to go on vacation." I'm not like, so I said, "Mom, all right, pick one of your friends, and I'll send you with your friends." You feel me? Like I'll pay for their shit. I'll pay for your shit. And she was just like, she was gonna go with one of them, and then she said no. And then she was like, "Well, you know, I'll go with like your older brother." So I'm the youngest. He's a little bit older. And I was like, "All right, cool." They go. So they're in Jamaica, which we were born in. I told them I might come down there. Just gotta keep this working, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, for the few things I'm happy about in life, like, you know, I'm happy they're having fun, but I'm happy I'm working too. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta keep working that they could, you know, it's all cycle of life. So, yeah. So my brother, my mom, they're on beautiful thing. I'm telling you, they're loving it. So I guess my brother called me. My mom is like 2-step into what song is that? This is how we do it. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. But yeah. Alright, that's a little good feel-good moment. Yeah, listen, yo, my job, this is how I look at life, man. My job is just to get the money in, man, to help the family and do great things. You know I live a great life. Like, I be having bullshit things. I got a bunch of little cars and little jewelry. Like, I'm happy. Let your family also, like, you know, keep their feet up and do their things. So, if I do pop out to Jamaica or whatever, it would just be to have that, we're all from this country type of moment. But I'm not working, I'm sorry. I can't be in a fucking resort or like a villa. Yeah, anyway. Cool. Let me, wait. What was I doing? I lost my train of thought. What was it? Give me back. Give me back, chat. Where was I at? Get me back.
Get off.
I'm definitely mom's boy.
I'm gonna get off. Peace out, you guys. Peace out.